Hello, the internet. So, it is Monday the 14th. It is 12:15. I am therefore running late, but what is new? I am going to be working through my weekly processing system. And I'm going to be really good this week at not talking while I'm writing, so that I can just talk, and hopefully it'll be a shorter video. I've been off normal timetable for 2 weeks, so I have done no planning for 2 weeks, so I feel a little bit like I'm coming into this system again, sort of fresh and new for the first time again. So we'll see if, even with a break, if it continues to work, and we will see if there are any new holes that I can identify that are no longer working. So first thing I'm going to do is I am going to, as my standard process, I'm going to write down my appointments for the week, which involves writing out my whole timetable. So off we go. Mum and Mike's timetables. I think that Mike is in the office on Wednesday, and I expect that he is in the office on Tuesday. Mum's timetable is I'm on dad cover then, and I think she's got she's going to Pilates at 6:30. I'm going to try and get to CrossFit at 7 because it's barbell club and I like it. Okay, clean hair. And if I go to CrossFit on Sunday morning, then I can do my hair on Sunday lunchtime when I shower after the gym on Sunday. Yeah. Cool. When can I work out? I think Thursday and Sunday. I might do the later session on Sunday, which is a sweat with friends session. That's fine. Thursday, Sunday seems to be the rhythm that I can handle. I do want to speak to my mum about potentially changing something on the Monday so that I can go to the sessions on Monday, Thursday instead of Thursday, Sunday, because that Sunday morning is a bit difficult. But I don't know. We'll find out. When can I book the sessions? I can book tonight. So I can't do that now. And then that one I can do, I think, on Wednesday. So what did I spend last week? So as always, I'm going to blur the video so that you don't see all of my monies. I, in total, spent £829, just under £830 over the last 2 weeks. Of that, 346 were business expenses. I have had to invest in some other software for work stuff because I have a new client who I will not name yet because I just don't think it's the done thing. We don't have, we need to finish signing contracts and everything, but I needed a specific software to work on within their workflow. House stuff, I bought a chair for me to sit on at this desk, which technically isn't office furniture because technically I don't need it for work because it's not in my work room. So that is just counting as house stuff. And I went to IKEA and I bought a lot of large boxes to put away lots of things that we're trying to sort out. And then the necessities are my ADHD meds, and unfortunately that is a monthly expense. I was with the NHS and then the provider that was serving my GP area changed, and when they changed they put me on the wrong waiting list. So instead of going on the list of people waiting for a new prescriber, I went on the waiting list for an assessment, even though I've had an assessment as a child and an assessment as an adult, and I was previously medicated, and apparently there's nothing that can be done. I've called up quite a few times, and I'm just on this waitlist. I've been now put on the correct waitlist, but they didn't have any capacity to like figure out where I would have been on the waitlist if I had been on the waitlist correctly from the beginning. So instead of going on the waitlist from the original position, I got put at the bottom of the waitlist. So I'm about a year behind other people who have been waiting for a prescriber. So I ended up having to do it privately, because I honestly was just not functioning as a person. I was drowning in work and in life, and I just wasn't able to get my life together. And since I've done it privately and since I've been back on the meds, would you believe it, life has gotten much easier. Unfortunately, it does cost about £100 a month. The good news is that with the ADHD medication, I'm able to earn at least that money back, which I don't think I would have done if I wasn't taking the meds. I don't think it is a coincidence that in the last 3 months since I came onto this prescription, because this is now a different prescription than I was on before, because the private doctor I was talking to recommended a different stimulant. I didn't get on very well with the stimulant medication because it was giving me like palpitations, and so I went onto a non-stimulant, but that requires a level of capacity to take it regularly, and I was missing doses all the time. So she has recommended a different stimulant which apparently releases at a different rate. There's something about the specific formulation, don't really understand it, but it seems to be working for me, and I seem to be working at a lower dose than I was before, because this particular formulation, for whatever reason, seems to be working. I don't think it's a coincidence that since I started this new medication, I have thrived professionally, and I mean, pretty much I started taking this medication, I think, pretty close to when I started posting regularly, weekly. So, you know, interpret that how you will. Cool, what is next on the system? Am I waiting on any deliveries? What are all of the things that I want to get done? Label them. So, this is the trigger list to try and prompt me to think about if there are things that need to be done or organised. So I'm going to not talk while I go through it. I'm just going to go through it, and hopefully it should be quite quick. So I'm just going to... Okay, so I haven't quite labelled them, and I don't really have a solid system for labelling. It changes. I've got a few sort of vague colour codes on the back, but it changes. So I am going to use just some colours, and I'm going to go first in. I'm going to go with I'm going to go in with things that are stressing me out. So things that are like causing me friction because I haven't done them and I want to have done them. So these green things are going to be things that are actually quite easy to do. So, and then purple is going to be, I know I've got purple up there, but I'm doing purple again. Purple is going to be things that are causing me anxiety, not necessarily because of their urgency, but because I'm not really sure how to approach them, or because of their volume. And then the last category is going to be things that I want to do, but part of the reason that I'm not doing them is because I feel like it's too fun. And if it's too fun, it's not work. And if it's not work, then I don't feel like I will feel like I've accomplished enough, if that makes sense. Like, I don't feel like I will feel like I've accomplished enough. So, okay. So this is a more structured system than I've done before. Before, I've always just sort of vaguely coloured them in. This time I have given them like proper sort of labels. So I am going to pick the next 10 things that I'm going to do these are not things that I have to do today, but I do have to do them in this order. Like, it is an arbitrary order, but this is the order that I put them in, so that I feel like I get them done. Okay, so I changed my mind again. I'm going to do these next 10 things, but I'm not going to do them in this specific order. I'm just going to do these next 10 things before I go to anything else on the list. Yeah. That's it. That's my next 10 things. In theory, this should take, normally my next 10 things, I say normally, in my mind, the next 10 things are things that I need to get accomplished this week. What will probably happen is I will get a bunch of them finished in one go, and then I will get through the rest of them hopefully by the end of the week. I will check in next week and see how this fared. This is my job, this is my task for next week, is to see how this structure worked and if I made progress on this structure. My plan is to write what I did from this list, so not just a generic what did I do, but what did I do from this list in this space here, so that I can link across. So if I did these next 10 things and if I did anything else from the list, it's possible that I will do other things from the list, because just because I say I'm going to do something in some order doesn't mean that I actually am. But this is the plan, or this is what I have processed as the important bits that will make me feel better and more in control. When I plan them in and when I actually do them, who knows? That is to be discovered. Right. I am going to call it there. See you later. Bye.